So, last time I played this game, which also I just uploaded the VOD like 20 minutes ago or something like that. Probably a little too close to when I'm playing this again.
Yes, studio.
But yeah, it's up. I had fun. We're gonna play more of it. We're not gonna worry too much about those pesky things like the translation. We're not gonna worry about stuff like that. Come on. Don't worry about things like that. What's important is that we understand it well enough. Okay? So we're gonna click continue. And we're going into Chapter 2, The Energy Crisis of the Palace of the Earth Spirits. Alright. Why did I just get flashbanged by silly patterns? Okay. It has been half a month since Marisa got her lawyer's badge. Did she get even a single case between that period of time? During this period, with the assistance of Patchouli, Marisa took on some trivial trials. How are you going to use the word cases there when you could use the word trial? It's so perfect. Trivial trial. Do you not understand how the English language flows? You're not caring. You gotta care more, man. You gotta care more. Although there were wins and losses, the image of a new lawyer pursuing justice and not influenced by the Hakurei shrine system gradually took shape. This is her law firm. Her bedroom is very minimalistic. She has a single bed, not even on the corner of her room. And then there's a little end table with a lantern on it. And the rest of the house is just covered in moss. Marisa, our law firm is slowly getting on track, isn't it? Patchy, do you live here now? I don't have a bed for you. What? Why are you suddenly saying this? Yeah, this shit is way too clean for Marisa's house. Suddenly. Marisa, you don't know what day it is today, do you? No? Of course I know. How could I not know? No? Then tell me what day it is. Bragging when asked what day it is today. Okay, here we go. Today is your birthday. Today is Patchouli's birthday. Wrong. Today is Valentine's Day. It's been almost 2 months. I don't know. I was just bluffing. I actually don't know. You're so immersed in the cases that you have forgotten the date. So what is the day? It's the 15th day anniversary of your law firm's establishment. Hey! Give it up for day 15! Is there a need to commemorate such a day? Of course there is. Do you remember the first case when you were forced to become a lawyer? I remember it very clearly, Miss Plaintiff. The real culprit you found Kainbyoden after a new trial was punished to return the books and work in the court for 2 weeks. Look, this is the trial report. Gensokyo's People's Court Case Number 2 Trial Report. Defendant Kainbyoden for the act of stealing books from the Scarlet Devil Mansion has been found guilty of theft. Why is the... what? Wait a minute. What do you mean trial number 2? I thought that was trial number 1. Or did the trial number increase because we took a recess? I have no idea how this shit works. Or is this a new trial? The court has determined that the facts are reliable and the evidence is conclusive. The stolen books being Applied Nuclear Physics and Energy Saving Life Tips, the Kotatsu edition. The defendant Kainbyoden is hereby sentenced to immediately return the stolen books and to perform compulsory labor and receive education at the court for the next 2 weeks. They ran a whole fucking extra case after she had, I mean, I guess they have to, right? I never really thought of that, but when you think about it, in the Phoenix Wright universe, Phoenix will catch the bad guy, but the bad guy, even after confessing to do it, will still have to have his own trial. He doesn't just get arrested in place of the other trial. I never really thought of that. To be honest with you, because it seems so said and done about the situation, but everybody has the right to a fair trial. So I guess even when it's 100% just like, it's completely pointless because they literally admitted it. So they're just gonna run. They're just gonna stand before a judge and be declared guilty from their own confession. The more I think about it, the stranger it is. Report of the trial for case of Gensokyo People Court Number Gen 2. Indicates suspect Kain Byoden is guilty of theft. Rin is ordered to immediately return the books and a sentence of 2 weeks of compulsory labor reform and education. Okay. Oh, no wonder I was always see her sweeping the floors at the court. Today is the day of her freedom. Although it makes sense, what does it have to do with us? Haven't you felt that the case was actually full of doubt? I am innocent, there's no doubt about that, right? I'm talking about Kain Byoden's motive for the crime. What's the problem? Think about what you said at the time. You've explained Ms. Kain Byoden's need for books in the energy science category, but why must she steal? Well, scholars are probably all like this. When studying, they don't want their classmates to know. You brushed it off like that, didn't you? But Kain Byoden didn't argue either. So there's no doubt. So that's the doubt. It's a loophole that the opponent can't explain, but there was no defense at all. Could it be that I wronged Kain Byoden? After she is free, she will come to seek revenge with resentment? It's over, we have to move quickly! Your thought process. Listen carefully. If Kain Byoden really has doubts, has grievances, then she can't come here to seek revenge, because only you can help her clear her name. So, but even if the motive is questionable, the fact that she stole books is undeniable, right? Yes, so what is the real motive for her stealing books? I'm curious. Jeez, back up, Yoka. Alright, let's go and ask her later. Just at that moment, there was a series of urgent knocks on the door. Patchouli opens the door and found a young girl standing in front of it. Curiosity attracts cats. Welcome Kain Byoden into the law firm. Excuse me, is this Marisa's law firm? Speak of the devil and the devil appears. May I help you with something? I would like to retain you to defend me. I understand you must be troubled by the trial 15 days ago. Ah. You don't have to worry about whether we can let bygones be bygones. We have seen your sincerity in coming to us personally. Although it was you who caused you to be convicted before, as long as you have a need, we can also help you overturn the case. No, I didn't. Of course, I know you didn't defend yourself in court, but it also indicates the unspeakable difficulties behind it. What is it? Please tell me. I'm very curious. You're wrong. My commission's not to appeal a case. But it's also nice to chat with someone who can't guess their own heart. It's a very novel experience. Yes, now that you mention it, I remember. Your boss is that Komeiji Satori who can read minds, right? Just thinking about it gives me the creeps. Since you know so much, I don't need to introduce myself. If she's your opponent, do you dare to accept this commission? She? Yeah, you might not believe it, but this time the one who's accusing me is my boss. Does she have to appeal such internal issues? That's too unreasonable. While everyone was surprised by the internal dispute of the Earth Spirit Hall, Marisa quietly came over. Hey, Patchy, isn't this just right? Just right. If I can defeat such a mind-reading enemy, then I, Marisa, will surely make a name for myself. Don't act like you're going to win for sure. Kain Byoden, your commission, I accept. Don't accept the commission without asking anything. We chose to defend not because it's easy, but because it's difficult. Okay. What kind of lawyer are you without this confidence? What do you think of the profession of a lawyer? Of course, it's a profession that can shout, "Objection! I have evidence!" even when you don't know anything. You're just disturbing the corner in the court. So, Miss Client, please tell me the details of this lawsuit. This person, there's no saving her. It's like this. In the previous 2 weeks, I was punished to work at the court. So my original job was taken over by my boss. Wait a minute, your original job refers to... It's about transporting corpses and controlling the crematorium. After Miss Komeiji controlled the crematorium for 2 weeks according to the notes I left behind. Although there were no major accidents overall, the thermal efficiency of the boiler decreased. Therefore, Miss Komeiji filed a lawsuit accusing me of dereliction of duty, providing an incorrect manual, and causing economic losses to the Palace of the Air Spirits. Hey, that's too unreasonable! Not to mention whether the fluctuation of boiler efficiency even counts as economic loss. Even if such a loss should be the responsibility of the operator of these 2 weeks was Komeiji Satori herself. How could she sue for such a reason? Ha 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 ha! What are you laughing at suddenly? You startled me. I'm laughing at how Komeiji Satori is short-sighted and lacking in wisdom. Appealing on such grounds, even if she can read minds, how can she win? So what are you going to do? Miss Kaimyorin, please rest assured. On the day of the trial, I will surely use my eloquent tongue to make Komeiji Satori surrender. In this way, Marisa, full of confidence, served as the defense attorney for Kaimyorin and arrived at the trial site on the day of the trial. 12. 6th April. Ministry of Right and Wrong. Hello, Green Aki. Silence! Why did she say silence and not order in the court? Now I hereby declare the trial of case number 9 of the Gensokyo People's Court to officially commence. Firstly, please let the prosecutor and the plaintiff enter the court. As the first prosecutor of Gensokyo, I will surely uphold justice for every citizen of Gensokyo. You again, huh? Count on it, Prosecutor Yakumo Yukari. Next, please let the defendant's attorney enter. Prosecutor Yakumo Yukari, does the justice you spoke of include that of the defendant as well? Of course, as long as you can prove the defendant's innocence. Small! Patchy, that desk is too big for you. You need a booster seat? Is she standing on a box? What is she must be on a box. I've had it! I'm standing up! I lost words. Every time I lose words, dude! I lose words! Why am I down to C? Cheer up, Marisa. Don't worry, Patchy. Then let us have the plaintiff state their claims for this trial. I mean, this is a good image, too. During this time, the defendant's lawyer may question the plaintiff. Okay. The Overseer of Hell, a yokai with the ability to read minds, feared by humans for her telepathic powers. She's quite popular among animals. In addition to Kaimyorin, she also has a crow pet named Ryuji Utsu, and recently, to align with the energy revolution at the Moria Shrine, she's installed a device that can control nuclear energy. About the case. Komeiji. Look at all those cords all around her. The defendant took a long leave 2 weeks ago. The notion of a long leave, is that reasonable? As I'd known during this period, Kaimyorin should have been in a state of punishment, unable to work normally, right? That's just the reason for the long leave. It's not like Kaimyorin chose not to work of her own volition. I'm stating the facts. It has nothing to do with personal wishes. Or do you think that in these 2 weeks, her status should be resignation, truancy, or attendance? That's a good expression. I like that her big ass eyeball is doing it too. Deduct pay as long as it's not attendance? Will Kaimyorin have to work overtime for 2 weeks later to make up for the time off? I don't think the content you're discussing now is related to my prosecution. I'll continue. I took over her work according to the manual she left behind. So you're saying that this work was actually completed by you? If you're referring to these 2 weeks where Kai Byoden was absent, that's correct. However, after following the operations in the manual, the thermal energy produced by the boiler has decreased significantly compared to before. You want to ask how long before was, right? Whether compared to last month or the same period last year, the result is the same. I'm stating the facts, not making false conclusions by manipulating statistics. I haven't asked yet. You have so many questions. I accidentally read ahead. I apologize. There has been a substantial decrease compared to before. How significant was the decrease? Before answering this question, I'd like to understand first. Lawyer Marisa, how proficient are you in mathematics? It's as high as a 3-story building. Then math wizard Marisa, when pushed, one can do anything except math problems. True! Then you might not understand the professional data. In your words, the decrease is as high as a 5-story building. Please do not use vague expressions in court, plaintiff. I have no doubt about the judge's professionalism. Here is a detailed report. A professional analysis reports that elucidates from various perspectives the extent at which the efficiency of the crematorium has decreased after following the manual left by Kai Byorin. Unfortunately, Marisa cannot understand it at all. You know what I'm understanding? That maybe Satori just didn't do a very good job in those 2 weeks, and now she's blaming it on Orin. Therefore, I believe there is an error in the manual provided by the defendant and request compensation for the economic losses caused as a result. Just because the power decreased after the operation, does it mean there's a logical flaw in assuming the manual is wrong? If the power decreased due to following the manual, then what else could it be? Komeiji Satori's testimony seems flawless. Thinking face. But there must be a flaw in it. Oh, you actually want me to present something? Bro, I don't even know what my evidence... Why do I have so much evidence? Oh, I still have all the evidence from the last one. Okay. Okay, hold on. The manual, following the operations, the man. Okay. The error manual. No, it can't be because she took all those notes from Skuya. Wait a minute, there's a clear contradiction between this piece of evidence and this testimony. Where's the contradiction? I don't see it. I'm sorry, I was mistaken. The defendant is reminded not to disrupt the court order without reason. Oops. I understand. Okay. Alright. I really thought that would be it. Maybe there's more info I'm missing. Zombie, energy science. No, no. No. No, it's not that either. I am mistaken. I gotta remember to save more often between these things. Ouch. There's an error. Okay. Along 2 weeks, I took over her work according to the manual she left behind. Following the operations, thermal produced by the boiler decreased significantly compared to before. Substantial decrease compared to before. Therefore, I believe there's an error in the manual provided. I think it's the book, but I don't know where to present it. You see, I've pressed everything already. Now I'm dead. I'm already dead. This is a bit of a problem. It seems flawless, but there must be a flaw in it. Okay. A substantial decrease compared to before. No, no, no. Achievement unlocked. Loser! You're a loser! You're a loser! Appears a defense, Your Honor. I believe a verdict can now be pronounced. After deliberation, we have decided you are a loser. Good. Okay. Streamer, would you like to try again? Yep. Huh. Boys, I did not save at all. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. How do I mash? Let's see. All right. I don't know. Oh, we go, and oh, we go. And oh, we go. VOD watchers skip 5 years. Court, to the court, to the court, to the court, to the court. To the court, 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 to the court. Okay. Much better. To the court, to the court, to the court. Two weeks. Manual. Fall operations. Decrease to before. There's an error. Maybe okay, I highly doubt it would be double pressing, but I will double press everything. I will double press. La di da di da di da di da di da di da di da. La di da di da di da di da. Matte 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 yo. Okay, so pressing this gave me the reduction report. Okay. Alright, so pressing that gave me that piece of evidence, which means it has to be used, or it's a double press. It has to be one of the two. Otherwise, you could miss it. I wasn't paying enough attention. Stating the facts, yep, okay. Alright. Work is completed by you. 2 weeks, that's correct. Yeah. Okay. How good are you at math? I'm so good at math. Okay, it's not a double press. But it has to be related to the reduction report. Okay, well, it has to be. Otherwise, that is missable evidence. I feel like I'm metagaming a little bit. That was weird. Okay. Show evidence. Look at the report you proposed yourselves. I did it. I did it. I'm so smart. The decrease in crematorium efficiency started from when you took over, didn't it? Isn't that exactly what I'm trying to illustrate? So doesn't this clearly indicate it's your fault? Oh, true! But I worked according to the manual provided by Kaimyo-rin. Ms. Komeiji Satori, did you follow the manual strictly and to the letter without any deviation? Why do you, as a lawyer, have so many questions? What else? Just sit here without asking anything and wait to lose? It's okay, I'll answer that question. Although it's impossible for a normal person to execute it strictly and exactly as written, I can guarantee that the plaintiff is working according to the core ideas of the manual. So I took over her work based on the core ideas in the manual she left behind. This manual, are you sure it was left by the defendant? There's no possibility of a mistake? Your Honor, may I consider this question as an insult to my intelligence? Regarding the authenticity of the evidence, the court has already verified it. Defense attorney, please do not ask about such issues again. Okay, alright. I took over her work based on the core ideas of the manual she left behind. Now it's the notebook. No, it's not the notebook. Okay. Core ideas. What does that even mean? Core ideas. Core ideas. He's just gonna present everything. You know what? Show this again. I'm sure it'll work. No. Streamer, you're gonna lose again! You're gonna lose again! I'm ready to lose. Boys. I'm so ready to lose. I'm so ready to lose. Yeah! Loser! Loser's POV! Core ideas. I don't know what that means. Like, what am I presenting to counteract that statement? I don't know what I'm supposed to be presenting. Alright. It's alright. So I know what we do. So we get the reduction report. Yep, we get the reduction report. And we show the reduction report on the manual. And then we get the new statement. And then we present my entire court record. Okay. No, that's irrelevant. 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 Didn't work. Irrelevant. Didn't work. Didn't work. So, hold on. Maybe now I actually do have to press something. Maybe I press everything with this new information. I haven't asked yet. Yeah, math. Because the power decreased is a logical flaw, assuming the manual is wrong. If the power decreased due to following the manual, then what else could it be? Think about what you said before. Okay, I'll answer this question. Although it's impossible for a normal person to execute it strictly and exactly as written, I can guarantee that the plaintiff is working according to the core ideas of the manual. Impossible to execute strictly and exactly as written, that's what you said. So there is a possibility that the boiler efficiency decreased due to the operator's misunderstanding or improper operation, right? Are you saying that my operation might have been at fault? That's right. And the manual provided by Kai Building could actually be correct. Is there any problem? It seems the defendant's lawyer doesn't know the defendant very well. But considering the defendant's lawyer can't read minds, the situation is understandable. Has Kai Byoden told you about the work she is responsible for? Wait a minute, your original job refers to... It's about transporting corpses and controlling the crematorium. It's about transporting corpses and controlling the crematorium. So why, during the 2 weeks she took leave, was I only in charge of controlling the crematorium? How can I know this? Alright, then I will kindly share a key piece of information with you. Just before something bad happens. Kaimgyoden has the highest accident rate in the Palace of the Earth Spirits. Ah ha 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 ha! Cause she's Hell's traffic accident! And just before she was convicted of book theft, there was a major safety incident. A corpse that she transported was about to be thrown into the incinerator when it was found to be alive. Fortunately, I happened to be there at the time, which prevented the tragedy from happening. Also due to this incident, Kaimgyoden was stripped of the right to participate in the transportation of corpses. When Kaimgyoden was convicted, she only had the job of controlling the crematorium to hand over. Poor lawyer, the defendant you are fighting for has easily concealed the truth from you. It's really absurd and laughable. Your Honor, is such a defendant also trustworthy? Lawyer Marisa, is such a defendant also worth defending? Do you like the plaintiff who self-reveals and read minds in ordinary attacks? Okay. Marisa, don't be in a daze. The current situation is very unfavorable to us, so we can only apply for an adjournment and then go to re-interview Kaimgyoden. At this time, we should fight for justice. Wait a minute. Look at this. What? Look at what? Look at what? It seems to not be this piece of evidence. Oh, at least it's not punishing me. Marisa, stop flashbanging us. Check this out. The evidence I want to present is the lawyer's badge. Fuck off. This badge represents the conviction of a lawyer. As a lawyer, how could I not defend the defendant? No matter how many mistakes the defendant has made before, it cannot be determined that this time is the defendant's fault. At this point, is the only thing you can present just the lawyer's badge. Unfortunately, the court is not a place where victory can be achieved by momentum alone. Chat, why are all my hearts flashing? Why is all my health flashing? How can a defendant who even hides from their own lawyer convince others in the court? Your Honor, please give a verdict. So after the trial, the judgment is... Wait a minute! Defendant's lawyer, do you have anything else to say? I can still apply for an adjournment. In theory, it is possible, but interrupting this judge's speech, a warning is given. Does the prosecution object to the application of her adjournment? No objections. If victory comes too easily, it would be too boring. Then I declare the court is adjourned for 2 hours. Dismissed. Okay, well, she slapped me, but that's fine. Detention room. Hey, Kaimbyorin! Why did you hide such an important matter from us? I'm sorry. I felt it was too embarrassing to mention. Listen up! The adjournment time we managed to get is only 2 hours. Yakumo Yukari has no reason to help us, so we can't use the gaps to gather evidence on the scene. So I'm giving you half an hour to tell me everything you've been hiding, clearly and in detail. I'm sorry. Stop crying! Crying is a waste of time, too. Marisa, take it easy first. Give Miss Kaimbyorin some time to calm down. This might be... My mind is a bit chaotic right now. I might not be able to explain it clearly. Please let me be alone for a while. I will organize the content I didn't tell in the notes later. Since Miss Kaimbyorin's habit is to organize things into notes, let's give her some time, Marisa. Since Patchouli has spoken, alright. Thankies. Thank you. Kaimbyorin quietly walked to the corner of the room. It seems like not wanting Kaimbyorin to hear, Patchouli approached Moria and whispered softly. Who? Suwago? Marisa, what do you think of Kaimbyorin just said? That's not Moria. Which sentence? The sentence where she explained the reason for hiding it. I'm sorry, I felt it was too embarrassing to mention. What do you think about that words? Very suspicion. Ordinary people are afraid of losing face, nothing more than the fear of losing their job and companions after losing face. The consequences that may follow. Kaimbyorin doesn't have this situation. Yes, her identity is already deeply bound with the Palace of the Earth Spirits, and she can't break away. Why would she risk losing the lawsuit and being imprisoned to hide it? That is to say, in Kaimbyorin's cognition, the reputation of the Palace of the Earth Spirits is even more important than her own freedom. But this explanation is even stranger. Even Kaimbyorin is willing to sacrifice her own freedom to protect the reputation of the Palace of the Earth Spirits. Komeiji Satori is the master of the Palace of the Earth Spirits, so why would she take the initiative to publicize a scandal? It's strange that she even sued. No matter whether the purpose is to punish Kaimbyorin or to recover losses, there are better ways. Suing is like taking a big detour, a choice that is not worth the effort. Unless the act of suing itself is her purpose, then why would she take the act of suing her as her purpose? I have no clue. Let's first take a look at the situation on Kaimbyorin's side. After all, our primary goal is to help the client clear their name. So, Marisa and Patchouli came to Kaimbyorin's side. Miss Kaimbyorin, how in the note organization going? Almost done. I've written down everything that happened after the first trial. So fast? Let me see. Oren, what does that say? I can't read that. What do you mean you can't read that? Okay. March 21st, while organizing notes on energy saving manuals at home, Kumachi suddenly came to the door and said that I should attend court as a witness. After 2 court sessions, I was found guilty. The court is a really terrifying place to... Do I really have to read out this emoticon? I did, you do. It's too weird to read all this out loud. Alright. In the gap of packing my luggage, I wrote the handover manual for the crematorium. Am I going to lose my freedom starting tomorrow? March 22nd, working at the court. March 23rd, working at the court. March 24th, working at the court. March 25th, Kaimbyorin, have you forgotten the kindness and teachings of the young mistress? Indulging in labor all day and not thinking about how to break out of prison and return to the Palace of Earth Spirits as soon as possible. What kind of conduct is this? March 26th, Komachi is too scary. I'd better continue to work honestly and obediently. March 27th, working at the court. March 28th, working at the court. March 29th, working at the court. March 30th, Kaimyo-rin, muster up your courage. If you retreat without trying, how can you repay the young mistress? Wasn't it quite smooth when you sneaked into the Scarlet Devil Mansion to steal books before? March 31st, I can't even try a bit. April 1st, working at the court. April 4th, today is the last day of labor. As long as I get through today, I will be free. April 5th, I'm free! Excitedly returned home, only to find that the crematorium is not running at all and the furnace core has cooled down. There's also a subpoena for the court on the table. Am I the defendant again? Is it possible to be found guilty after just being free? Fortunately, I had a brainwave and thought of Marisa, who defended herself in the first trial. She was really handsome, so I had hurriedly to ask for her help. She was really handsome. Okay, thanks, Kaimyo-rin's notes. A diary-style recording of Kaimyo-rin's recent life, most of which is about working at the court. Hey, I was praised. It's quite embarrassing. That sentence, really handsome, is clearly not written in the notes. You added it yourself. Also, this is clearly a diary of events, except for the first and last day. There is no useful information at all. Looking for the evidence in the diary, is something wrong? You can even see that there are 2 days of useful information. That's right. On the first day, Kaimyo-rin said she wrote 2 manuals. So there's a possibility that Komeiji Satori took the wrong manual. And on the last day, Kaimyo-rin found the crematorium's furnace core was cooled. This might also be evidence that Komeiji Satori took the wrong manual. I see. Let's hurry up and ask Kaimyo-rin how those 2 manuals were written. Kaimyo-rin, do you still remember what was written in the crematorium handover manual? I still remember the general content. Tell us quickly. It's all very basic and easy to understand content, such as where you put the body, where to take out the residue, how long it takes to burn, and then to take out the residue, etc. About how to reduce the fire or turn off the furnace core. No, because judging when to turn on and off is more complicated, so I plan to keep the furnace burning during these 2 weeks. But you mentioned in your diary that when you went back, the furnace core was cooled. Yeah, it also feels very strange. It's time to reveal the truth. Kaimyo-rin, tell us about the content of the energy-saving manual notes. Don't mention the energy-saving manual. That book is completely about Kotatsu. It has nothing to do with the crematorium. The content written is completely useless. It was stolen in vain, and I was sentenced to forced labor for 2 weeks. So what was written inside? It wrote a bunch of useless things, such as turn off when leaving, and so on. That's it. What? Komeiji Satori must have misread this manual. That is why you saw the cooled furnace core when you went back. So, my charge? Of course it's innocent. The reduction in boiler power is entirely because Komeiji Satori took the wrong manual. So, how to make the judge believe what Kaimyo-rin said? No need at all. As long as Komeiji Satori submits these 2 manuals as evidence, it will prove it. With just this piece of evidence, is it okay? Still have problems. No, the problem hasn't been figured out yet. What's the problem? Do you remember when Komeiji Satori said in court just now? The revelation that put us in this very passive position? Flashback! And just before she was convicted of book theft, there was a major safety incident. Are you talking about her motive for the revelation? That's indeed questionable, but we can't do anything about it right now. What I want to say is about the timing of this event. Before Kaimyo-rin stole the books? That's right, we know nothing about what happened before Kaimyo-rin stole the book. This memoir manual is completely unqualified from the start of the timeline. Ooh, don't scold, don't scold. I'll go fix it right away. Alright, give you another half hour. Marisa, let Miss Kaimyo-rin be alone for a while. Let's go over there. The 2 moved away from the corner where Kaimyo-rin was. What do you think of what Miss Kaimyo-rin just said, Marisa? It is the smell of lie. It's the smell of a lie. Do not lick the cat's face, you will be scratched. Smelling alive without tasting the sweat of Kai Myorin. Oh, it's a part 5 reference. Did you see it? Where? Such a lie can't escape the eyes of me, the great lawyer Marisa. Are you listening to with your eyes? Don't pay attention to such details. Relatively speaking, you should pay more attention to Kai Myorin's testimony. So where did she lie? She said the book about Kotatsu energy saving that she stole is completely useless. Then why did she make an abstract and take notes? So what does it mean? I didn't expect. Because that book hides an earth-shattering secret! This is all over the place. Your thinking is too divergent. Not to mention that the book is already determined not to be a high value when it was stolen. This is a book I collected. How could there be such strange things? Is it possible that this book is actually a code book? Kai Myorin used a password she got from somewhere unknown and through a certain page line and character number in this book composed the translation and recorded it in those notes. There are so many points to mock that I don't know where to start. So why did Kai Myorin make an abstract? Isn't the person right next to us? Hurry up and ask her. But she just lied. Generally speaking, she won't easily admit it, right? Unless what? Unless. After whispering to Patchouli for a moment, Marisa and Patchouli walked to Kai Myorin's side with a determined gait that brooked no interference. Hey! You there! You didn't tell the truth just now, did you? Me? Reincarnated as a delinquent girl. And then? Get smart! If you still want to walk out of this room. Confess honestly. What happened? Still pretending to be clueless. It seems you won't admit it until you're cornered. Ooh. Wait a minute, Marisa. You're scared of the tears. What? Why are you treating me like this? Look at the bad idea you came up with. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Miss Kai Myorin. We just wanted to clarify something you didn't explain clearly just now. Why not just ask directly? It's all Marisa's fault, suspecting you of deliberately hiding something, and then... I sincerely apologize, but because there is something illogical in your testimony just now, if we don't figure it out, we might not be able to win the lawsuit, which is why we resorted to this tactic. So what's the matter that hasn't been clarified? That's the reason why you made an abstract for the book, Energy Saving Life Tips, the Kotatsu edition. If this book really has nothing to do with the crematorium, there should be no need to make an abstract. Well, it's because I was ordered by Satori-sama. I see. That makes sense. Not at all! This is too strange. Hey, so does this mean you were also instructed by Komeiji Satori to steal the book? No, Satori-sama didn't order me to steal the book. It was entirely my own doing. I was even scolded by Lady Satori when I took the stolen book back. And it's strange, Lady Satori often gives orders that don't seem to make sense at first glance. But then you always find Lady Satori's farsightedness and brilliance. Often? So there's more than one such abnormal order. Yeah, I was just recalling I'd already written down the recent ones. Let me see it quickly. The young girl is reading. March 6th, I found a particularly durable zombie for burning. Satori-sama should praise me for this. But instead I was scolded, and not only was I forbidden to continue transporting corpses, but that zombie was also released. March 7th, the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. It's just a zombie, right? Anyway, there's no work to do, so I might as well go find out where that zombie is. Found it. The Aya News said that zombie was spotted near the Myorin Temple. March 8th, went to Myorin Temple to hunt the zombie, but empty-handed. March 9th, went to Myorin Temple to hunt the zombie, but empty-handed. March 10th, went to Myorin Temple to hunt zombie, but empty-handed. March 18th, went to Myorin Temple to hunt the zombie, empty-handed. How come I can't find that zombie for 10 days in a row? Shimei Aya wrote fake news again. March 19th, Satori-sama asked me to look for books related to energy saving when I have time, but not to attract attention. But after walking around the human village, I didn't find any. March 20th, in the morning I walked around the human village again, but still couldn't find any books on energy saving. In the afternoon, I went to the Scarlet Devil Mansion to exchange housekeeping experience with Izayoi Sakuya. After finishing, I found that it was still early, so I took the opportunity to sneak into the library to try my luck. I really found books related to energy saving and also stumbled upon Applied Nuclear Physics. The collection in the Scarlet Double Mansion is really abundant. However, when I got home, I was scolded by Satori-sama again. She said that stealing is wrong and asked me to return the books after making summaries tomorrow. A diary style recorded of Kaimbyo Rin's life in an earlier period, most of which is about hunting zombies at Myoden Temple. Isn't this still a diary of events? When will the Fierce Generals edition come out? Is this still a diary of events? And I'm not even praised anymore. It's better to go back to the first version. No, this version is much richer in information than the first one. Really? That much? Apart from being able to refute the assertion that fishermen never go home empty-handed, does this version have any other function? For example, here, the content of the last day. Actually, finding books on energy saving was the main purpose, and finding applied nuclear physics was just a byproduct. This completely contradicts your reasoning in court just now. Also, the content of the penultimate day. Looking for books on energy saving was also an order from Komeiji Satori. Miss Kaimbyo Rin, do you know the reason why Komeiji Satori asked you to find books on energy saving? I don't know. Why doesn't this person know anything? Then the book Applied Nuclear Physics was something you were looking for yourself, right? The reason for wanting to find this book? It's from my friend, Ryuji Utso. Why? Can't that birdhead understand this book? Can that birdhead understand this book? I understand. What do you understand? Look at this! What am I looking at? Yes, that's it. Moria Shrine leads energy revolution by many people question the safety of nuclear power. You're not going to say again that Kaimbyo Rin wants to learn nuclear energy technology to adapt to the times. No, I thought of a new motive. After being questioned, Ryuji Utso went home crying and making a fuss so pitiful. That's a strange way to describe it. So to comfort her friend, Kaimbyo Rin went to find applied nuclear physics, using the authoritative knowledge in the book to tell Ryuji Utso that nuclear energy is safe. Is that right? Actually, it's not like that. Utso didn't go to the press conference and I didn't know about it. And didn't know about it. It's the people who question the safety of nuclear energy that are stubborn and won't listen to any explanation. That's why I wanted to try and persuade them with the authoritative theory in the book. Why? Everyone won't believe Utso. Wait a minute, are we getting off topic? What's important now is why Komeiji Satori would give such an order, right? I thought the reason for Komeiji Satori's order would be a bit related to the reason why Kaimbyo Rin looked for the second book. But Komeiji Satori, who can read one's mind, shouldn't do such a thing. Now the clue is broken again. It's okay, I'll get that reason out of her at the trial later. So is the preparation work almost done? No. No, the preparations are not enough. There are still unresolved issues. This zombie is quite intriguing. The lawyer is overpowered but overly cautious. It's a reference to a series. The zombie is quite intriguing. Zombies haunted around Myoden Temple. So it really is. Miyako Yoshika! Huh? That zombie, you know her too? No. Two? You specialize in targeting acquaintances, don't you? To be precise, Miyako Yoshika is not a person, but rather a familiar corpse. But why does Marisa think there's doubt here? Think about it. Kaimbyo Rin is going to throw corpses into the furnace to burn them. Knowing the consequences are harmful, would you still choose a familiar corpse? But doesn't Marisa do the same? Stealing things also targets acquaintances. That's not the same at all! You see, what I want is different. As far as I know, the books about agriculture are only at your place. Do you think I'm just talking about books, you idiot? Wait. Speaking of zombies, aren't they only from Miyako Yoshika? So Kaimbyo Rin, the zombie wasn't picked up by chance, was it? Was discovered. I'm sorry. I know it's wrong to do this. But for this matter, please turn a blind eye. You know that's impossible. This really has nothing to do with the case, and it's related to the reputation of the Palace of the Earth Spirits, please. Miss Kaimbyo Rin, please tell us the cause of this matter, and we will judge whether it is related to the case. Alright. In fact, the protests from the residents of the human village started a long time ago. I and Satori-sama, as well as the Miko of the Moria Shrine, have been trying to guide them. But it's always been ineffective. So I wanted to show better service and gain the trust of those residents with sincerity. So what service did you provide? On the one hand, it's providing heating for the residents of the human village through the crematorium. On the other hand, it's collecting corpses in a timely manner. So you wanted to burn Miyako Yoshika. Yeah, on the one hand, the fire is more vigorous, and on the other hand, the existence of zombies also bothers some residents. But Gensokyo of the dead. But what does this have to do with the reputation of the Palace of the Earth Spirits? Because Satori-sama explicitly opposed this plan and even forbade me to transport corpses again. She said for these stubborn heretics, persuasion is useless. They must be taught a lesson. It really doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case. So for the reputation of the Palace of the Earth Spirits, please promise to keep it a secret. If Marisa can't do it, I'd rather be found guilty. Despite being loyal to the Palace of the Earth Spirits, you disobeyed Komeiji Satori's orders and lurked at Myoden Temple for 10 days? Only for this, I can't agree with Satori-sama. Water can carry a boat, but it can also capsize it. If you don't use warmth to edify, but instead confront the public with hostility, the days of being abandoned by the people is not far off. This is too strange. What's so strange about it? Even Kaimbyo didn't care so much about the reputation of the Palace of the Earth Spirits, but Komeiji Satori seems to care nothing about it. Hey, what does even mean? Damn it, I can't figure out Komeiji Satori's motive for prosecution at all. I don't know where to start. Just at this moment, there was a sudden knock on the door. Huh? Is someone knocking? Who is it? Excuse me for the interruption. I'm the bailiff, Onozuka Komachi. May I come in? Please come in. Well, I don't have anything important, but I heard the sound of argument inside when I was passing by. I was afraid that you might be discussing too passionately and forget the court time, so I came to remind you. There's only half an hour left until the next court session, so please get ready and don't be late. We were just that loud. In any case, thank you. We'll be careful. Alright, now that the reminder has been received, I'll take my leave. Please wait a moment. Miss Patchouli, is there anything else? Officer, I'm just curious. How long does it usually take from submitting a petition to sending a subpoena to the defendant? Chat, hold on. I'm developing hiccups. I need to drink my water. Okay. Haven't you been a plaintiff before? The time when Miss Patchouli was the plaintiff was the court's first case. Everyone was idle and enthusiastic, so the efficiency was very high. And the subpoena was sent out the same day. But now it basically takes 3 to 5 days. I see. Patchy, what are you thinking? Well, if there's no other questions, I'll take my leave. If there's none, thank you for the reminder. See you later then. So what's the point of asking this? I just suddenly thought if we can't break through from the motive, we can try to deduce from the perspective of time. If the timing of the prosecution starts too early, it can at least prove that the prosecution was premeditated. But even if we calculate it with the maximum of 5 days, during the 14-day handover period, Satori should have been working according to the wrong manual for 9 days, right? So it seems reasonable to find that the efficiency of the crematorium has significantly decreased during the 9 days of work, right? But think about what Kaimbyo-rin wrote in her memories. April 5th, I'm free. Excitedly returned home only to find the crematorium is not running at all and the furnace core has cooled down. There's also a subpoena from the court on the table. Am I the defendant again? Is it possible to be found guilty again just after being free? Ms. Kaimbyo-rin found the subpoena on her table when she returned home on April 5th, which means the subpoena could have been sent out even earlier. But after all, there are just guesses, and there is no actual evidence. Evidence. Where can we find evidence? Yep. Yes, now all we can provide is Ms. Kaimbyo-rin's testimony, which is also hard to be accepted. The Palace of the Earth Spirits Master, Komeiji Satori, and the Gap ability holder, Yakumo Yukari, have a strong alliance, occupying an absolute advantage in terms of evidence. No, it's not an absolute advantage. It's more that only they can provide evidence unilaterally. Patchy, when you say that, I think of it. The evidence they personally provided, don't I have it? Yeah, the notes. Yes, this is it. Kind-built-in, do you usually produce this kind of data summary report? We do produce them, but the timing is a bit different. How is it different? Usually we collect the data from the previous month on the 1st of each month, organize and calculate it, and then release it on the 15th of each month. But this report was taken out today, which is the 6th of April. Finally, we have a breakthrough. There's not much time left, let's quickly go over our defense plan for later. First, let Komeiji Satori present the 2 manuals and point out that she took the wrong one. Then, press her for the reason she had kind-built-in, look for energy-saving books, and make a summary manual. Finally, ask the judge about the date Komeiji Satori submitted the petition. By combining the production date of the investigation report, accuse her of framing the defendant. With this, it feels like we have a chance to win the case. That's great! Come on, everyone, reach out your hands. Okay! Do I have to? Before kind-built-in could react, Marisa had already grabbed kind-built-in's hand and placed the hand of the 3 together. Huh? Why grab my hand? Let's work together to clear kind-built-in's unjust accusations. Want to borrow the cat's hand? Suddenly grabbing the hand of kind-built-in. Wouldn't you? Come on. Come on. Come on. After 2 hours of intense preparation during the recess, Marisa and her group returned to the courtroom confidently at the last moment. Silence. The cat's final chapter. Now I hereby announce that the 9th trial of the Gensokyo People's Court is reconvened. Defendant's side, after the adjournment, do you have any new evidence to present? Yes. Then hurry up and bring it out. But it is you who must present new evidence first. What? Because the only one who can present this evidence is Komeiji Satori herself. What evidence? According to the defendant's recollection, she organized 2 sets of notes. One is about the operation of the crematorium for work handover, and the other is a summary of the previously stolen book, Energy Saving Life Tips, the Kotatsu edition. And these 2 sets of notes are undoubtedly in Komeiji Satori's hands now. Firstly, we are not obligated to present evidence for you. Secondly, even if we really provided it, what can these 2 sets of notes prove? The content of these 2 sets of notes is extremely different. The work handover note is about maintaining the operation of the crematorium. The other one is mainly about energy saving, mentioning things like turn off in time when not in use. So just check whether the crematorium is running to see which note Komeiji Satori referred to. You mean because I didn't refer to the work handover note, kind-built-in is innocent? Although it's not very cool to be said first, but that's exactly it. The defense claims that a decrease in the efficiency of the crematorium is entirely because Komeiji Satori took the wrong notes. Kind-built-in, who provided the correct notes, is not responsible for this. Is that all? What do you mean, is that all? Isn't that enough to declare innocence? Marisa, as a lawyer, you are still too naive. Even if everything you say is true, somebody's gotta go to jail. Let's say for the sake of argument that because I took the wrong notes, the efficiency of the crematorium decreased. But didn't the wrong notes also come from kind-built-in? So does kind-built-in also, who created the situation where the notes could be taken wrong, have no responsibility at all? This can't be right. There's nothing wrong with it, Marisa. In court, we must adhere to rigorous logic, not I think. Fortunately, I was well prepared. What if the act of writing the wrong notes was ordered by Miss Komeiji Satori? Look at this! Look at this evidence! This is kind-built-in's memoir. Please pay attention to the entry of March 19th. March 19th, Satori-sama asked me to look for books related to energy saving when I have time, but not to attract attention. But after walking around the human village, I didn't find any. So I asked Komeiji Satori, what is the reason for ordering kind-built-in in this way? Is there a suspicion of deliberately letting kind-built-in organize 2 sets of notes in order to deliberately take the wrong one and frame kind-built-in? have you been cornered to this extent? Even using the defendant's memoir, which is no longer trusted, as evidence? I want to remind the defense attorney, if you want to make a clear charge of framing, it is better to prepare more convincing evidence. As for your question just now, it's just that necessary learning materials for the crematorium department of the Palace of the Earth Spirits to carry out reforms. As a department that provides energy, it's only natural to look for books related to energy saving, right? Iggy! Still arguing. Arguing? Then please present more compelling evidence before making bold claims. This piece of evidence is very powerful. No more suspense. Please let the defense attorney present their evidence. Objection. Objection to the judge? I apologize, Your Honor. I have to be disrespectful, because the evidence I want to submit is with you. Me? Please show us the petition submitted by the plaintiff at that time, and tell us on which day was the petition submitted. It is a reasonable request to check the petition, but Marisa, you dare to object to the judge. One warning. What? Komeiji Satori submitted petition. Plaintiff, Komeiji Satori. Defendant, Kain Byorin. Claim for relief. The plaintiff requests the court to order the defendant to compensate for the economic loss caused to the plaintiff. Facts and reasons. The defendant was employed at the unit controlled by the plaintiff, starting from March 22nd year, the defendant was absent due to reasons. After the plaintiff operated the crematorium, which the defendant was supposed to be responsible for, according to the work handover manual provided by the defendant. There was a problem with reduced energy supply efficiency resulting in economic losses. See attached report for details. Therefore, the plaintiff brings this lawsuit to the court and hopes for a favorable judgment. To Gensokyo's People Court. Plaintiff Komeiji Satori, April 2nd. Plaintiff is Komeiji Satori and the defendant is Kain Byorin. The reason for the lawsuit is the issue of reduced energy supply efficiency after operating the crematorium, according to the work handover manual left by Kain Byorin. The lawsuit is dated April. As written in the petition, the submission date was April 2nd. What's the problem? Again? There are many problems. The petition clearly does not match the facts. There's something off about the submission date. There's something clearly off about the submission date of this petition. The date just happens to be 3 days before Kain Byorin finished her labor to return to freedom. What just happens to be about this? As far as I know, the shortest time for the court for receiving a petition to send out a subpoena is also exactly 3 days. It indicates that the plaintiff's lawsuit was premeditated. It was to ensure that the defendant would receive the subpoena immediately upon returning home. Could a lawsuit also be unconscious? The plaintiff is not Komeiji Koishi. Think about it again. There are many problems. Where is the attached report? I've shown it to you already, you know. Check your inventory. The crematorium efficiency reduction report, is it? In that case, the clues add up. Since the report was submitted as an attachment to the petition, doesn't that mean that before April 2nd, this report was already completed? So what? So when the report was completed, Kain Byorin's term of forced labor had not yet ended. This report did not fully include all the data after the plaintiff took over the work. That's a good perspective. But what does this prove? You don't have to wait for the work period to end to notice a decrease in efficiency, right? Ooh, no, this suggests that the report might be fraudulent. If you want to clear the suspicion, please let the plaintiff explain what's working and she did during the period she took over the work. By the way, when she says Sori wa shigao, or whatever you pronounce that as, that's the Dangan Rampa one. Where when the guy goes, no, that's wrong. That's what it is in Japanese. So she's jumping between objection and no, that's wrong. So that's kind of neat. If you want to clear the suspicion, please let the plaintiff explain what work she did during the period to which she took over the work. Such a clumsy provocation, Miss Komeiji. We don't have to. No problem. I'd like to see how you, Marisa, will prove my report false. Okay. Testimony start. Firstly, when I learned that my subordinate, Kain Byorin, had stolen books from the Scarlet Devil Mansion, I was also shocked. As your subordinate, the act of stealing books wasn't ordered by you? Of course not. Since we had already confirmed with the person involved, why ask deliberately, great lawyer Marisa? I asked the person about this, and they never said that, right? Marisa, it's because Komeiji Satori just used her mind-reading ability. Against such an opponent, bluffing is ineffective. Then I ordered Kaimbyo to return the books the next day. Hold it. Before this order, you also gave other orders, didn't you? What kind of orders? If you don't speak clearly, the rest of the people in the courtroom won't understand. The next day, I found that Kaimbyo had been arrested for book theft. How did you find that? It's a shame to say I only found when Onozuka Komachi brought Kaimbyo back to retrieve the stolen goods. And so, are you so indifferent to your subordinates? You stand at the lawyer's podium not just to accuse me, right? Alright, next. So I could only seize the opportunity when she came back to pack her belongings to have her write a handover manual and personally take over the work of the crematorium. Since Kaimbyo wrote the manual in front of you, how do you get it wrong? Who told you that Kaimbyo wrote the manual in front of me? Didn't you just say that the order was given when she came back? Giving an order in person doesn't mean waiting for it to be completed in person. I see. It's clear that the great lawyer Marisa indeed lacks experience and leadership. You! Fuck you! However, after taking over for a week, I received feedback from the residents of the human village that the heating efficiency had severely decreased. Before the feedback, didn't you have any sense at all? I've never operated the crematorium before. Where would my sense come from? How can you say I don't know so boldly? That's precisely why the responsibility for the boiler efficiency decreases lies within Kaimbyo. Next. So I ordered the collection of the crematorium's operating data during this period and the preparation of a report. When an operational accident occurs, the first thought isn't compensation or improvement, but data collection. That kind of thing can wait for a week or two. It's only with the data that we can figure out the cause, right? So the data you collected, up to which day does it go? The report already clearly states up to March 29th. Unfortunately, it seems our great lawyer Marisa can't understand the report. I demand the time to be specified in the testimony. Alright. So I order the collection of the crematorium's operating data from March 22nd to March 29th and the preparation of a report. So the report doesn't have data after March 29th, right? Correct. Then without collecting the complete data for March, how was the comparison made? Although I can't understand the report, you personally said that a comparison was made. It seems that the great lawyer Marisa knows very little about statistics. Collect complete data before statistics can be done. Statistics is not such an inconvenient thing. When needed, statistics can also be made with only a week's data. It can actually be done this way. The charm of statistics! Learn the flexible use of statistics from Komeiji Satori! Wow, I've learned! After the report was completed, I came to submit the lawsuit. Why did you choose to sue after the report was completed? Because the report revealed the cause of the efficiency decrease. What is the cause of the efficiency decrease? Isn't it clearly written in the lawsuit? Because the operation method is wrong. So the responsibility for the problem lies with Kaimbyo, who provided the operation manual. Your answer is too evasive. What I want to ask is, you obviously have countless more convenient ways to punish Kaimbyo. Why choose the cumbersome and risky way of suing? Marisa, are you questioning the authority of the law? Let me show you a document that the court just released recently. Gensokyo People's Court announcement. To all organizations and departments in Gensokyo, the Gensokyo People's Court has been proven capable of handling various disputes after a period of trial operation. Please seek the court's help when encouraging disputes and conflicts and avoid exacerbating conflicts or even triggering conflicts due to improper personal disposal methods. Gensokyo People's Court, April 1st. Not a good date to release something like that. The Gensokyo People's Court announcement document mentions that the Gensokyo People's Court advocates for everyone to use legal means to protect themselves and to avoid escalating conflicts or causing disputes. This clearly shows that Ms. Komeiji Satori has the awareness and trust in actively responding to the court's call. This document, it's not an April Fool's joke, is it? Of course not. Or do you want to despise the court document? I didn't. Don't talk nonsense. After receiving the subpoena, I put Kainboden's copy on her desk. Fortunately, she was able to come back in time and make it to the trial. This is not something fortunately, is it? All this has been planned by you, hasn't it? What are you talking about? I have no knowledge of the exact time when Kainboden will be released after serving her punishment. Didn't she go back before she was taken away? Didn't she tell you when she would be coming back? At that time, I was too preoccupied with writing the handover manual. You see? But you possess the ability to mind read! Even if Kainboden didn't say it, you would know, right? Firstly, I don't use my ability all the time. You are so full of shit! You liar! That is... Judge? Judge? This is contempt of the court. She's lying under oath. Liar. There is no need to keep reading a pure heart that has not been tainted by knowledge. Is this a compliment? Moreover, can you provide evidence that I used mind reading ability at that time? As for evidence, there probably isn't any evidence that can prove she used mind reading. But if there is evidence that can prove Komeiji Satori could have known in advance about Kainboden's release time. Kainboden was just released and then got involved in a lawsuit again. Could these two things really be a coincidence? Let's hear what they have to say again. Okay. Been arrested for book theft. Seized the opportunity. Taking a week, I received feedback from the residents. Or the collection of the crematorium's operating data from March 22nd and March 29th and the preparation of a report. After the report was completed, I came to submit the lawsuit. Let me see. Most of it is about working in court. Hunting zombies. April 2nd. I think I know what I'm supposed to do here. So, she collected data from the last week of March. This is the crematorium's offering. So there's a week here. But the subpoena came on April 2nd. And the court information was put out on April 1st. And I've already forgotten information that I should know. So, March 21st. And then... Okay. This was March 22nd, right? She was arrested. She was convicted on March 22nd. And she was sentenced to 14 days. So, March 22nd... Yeah, March 22nd is the day that she was... So, the first week. Okay. I don't know what to present on. No. Oops. Hmm. No, not that. I'm wondering if this is a matter of just pressing. I'm just wondering if this is a matter of pressing. So, what we're trying to prove right now is that, we're trying to prove that Satori knew about Oren's elongated, like, the length of her leave. Because she deliberately set it up so that when Oren was released, she would immediately come back to the subpoena. That's the general idea here. Alright, well now we gotta press everything again. Now we gotta press everything again to get the information in the item. Yo! Did I miss? Did I miss it? Okay. Well, there's that. And now I need the report again, right? I need the report again. There it is. Alright. Now we have the information again. And now, before I do anything else, I'm just gonna press everything again anyway. With all this new information. So you can't prove she read her mind. Is there evidence that can prove Satori could have known in advance about Kyojin's release time? Oh, wait. Obviously. Obviously. Wait a minute. Fucking obviously. No, you knew the exact time she would be released, didn't you? Because this court report is clearly written. How do you think I just remembered it, streamer? I remembered it for the same reasons here. Because it was fucking announced on the paper of the trial verdict. Therefore, you calculated the date of Kyojin's release and submitted the lawsuit according to the date. Your reasoning is incorrect. No, it's not. It was very correct. Shut up. It's not fortunately a coincidence that Ring can make it to the trial. The sentence and the trial time are arranged by this court, and it will naturally give her enough time, which has nothing to do with Miss Satori. As for the report you mentioned, there's also the possibility that Miss Satori did not see it. Heh. Then the contradiction appears. That's not the evidence. No, okay, no. I don't know what exactly to present here. At least it's giving me infinite tries, but... Okay. Okay, streamer. Alright, streamer. Alright, streamer. Come on now. Get it together, streamer. Get it together. What are you doing? Get it together now. Come on now. Get it together. You got it. You can solve this. You got it, you got it. You'll be fine. You'll do it. You can do it. No, you'll figure it out. You'll get it eventually. Yeah, there's... It's only a matter of time before you get the right one, streamer. Oh, of course. This is your so-called active response to the court's call. Even if your own family is convicted, you were unwilling to look at the announcement? If Komeiji Satori had never looked at the court announcements, then rushing to make a statistical report, creating a series of coincidences, and manufacturing enough evidence to sue the subordinate's plaintiff, Ms. Komeiji Satori. It's too suspicious, isn't it? Suspicious? It's getting more and more interesting, Marisa. Share your thoughts. I think Komeiji Satori is deliberately arranging the schedule. The ultimate goal is to fabricate enough evidence to frame Kaimyorin. Marisa, it seems you overlooked a crucial condition when making an inference. Do you remember how I taught you? The possibility of the cat hair being coincidentally brought into the library is not out of the question, unless you can prove someone's motive, opportunity, and means. What would be Miss Komeiji Satori's motive for framing Kaimyorin? Motive? I hadn't... No, you've thought it through very carefully. You just said something like that a moment ago. What I want to ask is, you obviously have countless more convenient ways to punish Miss Kaimyorin. Why choose the cumbersome and risky way of suing? Komeiji Satori clearly has countless more convenient methods. Why would she go through the trouble of fabricating evidence to frame someone? You're actually using my own words against me. If, as you say, the motive for Komeiji Satori to sue Kaimyorin doesn't hold up, then how could there be a motive to frame Kaimyorin through a lawsuit? How could this be? My way of proving it has turned around and trapped myself. I've walked into a dead end. What should I do? Is this an unsolvable statement? Marisa, calm down quickly. If you're stuck in a deadlock, try reversing your train of thought. Reverse it. Since the motive for Komeiji Satori to frame Kaimyorin doesn't hold up, and her actions seem very much like a deliberate attempt to frame someone, is it possible that the target Komeiji Satori wants to frame is not Kaimyorin? Not Kaimyorin, then who could it be? I once read a report in Aya News. It said that in the human village there were 2 football teams of similar strength, and after casual or friendly matches, everyone would still summarize the areas where they didn't play well. But after a formal match with a professional referee, the losing side attributed all the reasons to the referee's unfair calls. Did that referee make unfair calls? No, he didn't. Although he did make some controversial decisions. But considering the situation at the time, it was in accordance with the rules. Then why? Because authority also means taking on all the responsibility. I see. So, could it be that Komeiji Satori's target for framing is her? May I ask the defendant attorney what her and her assistant... Are you whispering to each other about how to surrender? Yakumo Yukari, thanks to your reminder, I'm about to discover the truth. About to? I need a little more time to think. Can I request a recess? Objection. Defense attorney, you've already requested a recess once. However, I can give you 5 minutes to think. Please think about your arguments within the set time limit. I will not extend it by even a second. There's not much time left for defense. This is too strict. Patchy, can we make it in time? With such a short time, we definitely can't carry out a rigorous verification. We can only reverse our line of thinking. Reverse it. Assuming our guess is correct, and then deduce from the conclusion. If the reasoning is correct, we can determine Kwakuma's real motive. Huh? Who? What? Why? What do you mean, Kwakuma? What? What did she do? I understand. I don't. What do you mean? We can't afford to wait. Let's start immediately. Kirisami Marisa, Yakumo Yukari, Kaimyorin, Scarlet Devil Mansion, Instant Sori's lawsuit, Satori, evil will be brought to justice, People's Court announcement. These stubborn heretics' persuasion is useless, they must be taught a lesson. Crematorium efficiency report, there's who offer my, those who offend my palace are supposed to be punished no matter who they are, against Tokyo People's Court. Komeiji Satori orchestrated all of this. Who is the target she intends to frame? Who is the target she intends to frame? So I can choose the story. Oh, Jesus, I only have 5 minutes. Oh, shit. Who's she intending to frame? You. To achieve her goal, which side is right? Which side has evidence? It's necessary to maintain a balance between both parties. Oh, God, I don't know, dude. Which side is in the right? Holy, I don't know. Me. Which side has the evidence? You. Set the trap, she prepared a lot. What is this crucial piece of evidence? Her crucial piece of evidence. The efficiency report. The prerequisite for setting this trap is... the lawsuit. And the only doubt before this is... Can we just act quickly? The motive must have arisen before this. Only doubt before this. See, there's something wrong. Let's think about it again. I don't want to think about it again! I don't want to think about it again. No, I can't think. I can't think. No thinking. No thinking. No thinking. There's no thinking. There can be no thinking. I'm right. Could you please tell me what I got wrong so I can do better next time? What is the statement by... I don't know, chat. I don't know. The information is not clear. It's not clear. I don't know. Who is the target she intends to frame? You. Whose side is in the right? You. Who's got all the evidence? You. The crucial piece of evidence. The efficiency report. Prerequisite for the trap is the lawsuit, right? And the statement made by Komeiji Satori. Chat! I have no idea. I have no idea. Time's up, defense attorney! It's almost there, just a little more. Please give me objection die. There's so... the game doesn't give you any hint. There's no hint. If you get it wrong, it's just like something's wrong. Do it all over. Do you know how many fucking combinations there are? Oh man, dude. Oh man. There's so many combinations. Aww. Who's the target she intends to frame? The court. Which side's in the right? My side. Which side has evidence? Her side. What is the crucial piece of evidence? Oh. That? What is the prerequisite? Oren. Tell me what's wrong! Tell me what's wrong! Oh my god! Ah! Inform me! Me. The crucial piece of evidence. God damn it. God damn it. I thought I was on to something there. I kind of thought I was on to something there. Please. Please. Please tell me. Please tell me. Indicate me. Indicate! There's something wrong. Let's think about it again! Oh my god! Who was the target she intends to frame? I think I'm kind of spitting on this one. The authority has responsibility. Which side is in the right? Which side has the evidence? Me. You. A crucial piece of evidence. Chat, has anybody beat the game? Has anyone beat the game? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. They're not all red herrings. If it's correct, then there are alternate outcomes to this board. So everything makes sense. Everything makes sense with the right order of things. So some of these aren't just like... Some of these aren't just dead tiles, you know? Like, I could spin the narrative a specific way based on how I place them, which makes it even more confusing because it's a wrong answer, it's in the wrong lineup, but it's not very, like, intuitive, because you're not even, like, I'm not even being told what's going on. It's a lot of words, dude. It's a lot of words. Words, man. We made them up. Words, man. We made them up. There's something wrong. Let's think about it again. Okay, I've thought about it. I don't know. Google it. Google it now. By the way, chat, when is Thanksgiving this year? Rookie attorney Legendry.
Yes, studio.
Uh-huh. Comic book. Oh, great. Case 2. Chat. 28th? Oh yeah, right. Thanksgiving's at the end of the month for American. Okay, nobody has this information, chat. Nobody has this information. It does not exist on the internet, which means it is now up to us. It is now up to us to do every possible combination. Alright? Ready? Every possible combination. Time to grab the notepad and see what happens. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 things in here. I don't even want to begin with this. I don't even want to fucking begin writing down combinations. Try this, sure. And once I do, stop typing. There you go. There's a video for the first 9 minutes that never even makes it to the court, brother. How is that possible? How is that possible? It's a gameplay demo. Which side is in the right? Which side has evidence? Ah! Okay. I guess the text bubbles at the very least will only go in here. But she did say this. Like, she did say that. She did say that. She 100% said that. I think she's trying to pull. I think she's trying to get the court. I think that's what she's doing. God. Ah! Okay. Which side is in the right? Which side has the evidence? Is it me or her? Oh, God. Crucial piece of evidence. Prerequisite is the lawsuit. It's still wrong. It's still wrong. It's still wrong. It's still wrong. You. I can't. I don't know. This fucking comic book, dude. Time's up. You lose. This is a grossly inefficient method of doing this. No hint. No hint. Okay. So, I think that is correct. The crucial piece of evidence that she got would have to be the report, and the prerequisite would have to be the lawsuit. Which means, if this is all correct, it's a matter of this. But that's wrong. But that's wrong. But it won't tell me. It won't tell me what's wrong. And I don't know. I don't know. Danganronpa tells you the story, and when you hit the wrong one, it puts you back in the comic book to change it. But if this one has multiple versions of the finished story, it can't do that. But at the same time, it's doing a horrible job. It's too freeform. There are too many there are too many options. And the thing is, if I'm wrong about any of these that I'm not, like, you know, that I'm confident are right, then we're in trouble. What's wrong, Ronald Coon? Are you perhaps craving my McNuggies? What is wrong, damn it? What is wrong? There's no information given, no. There's no information given on whether or not you're right. There are 3 quotes here. The only one I remember her actively saying is the one about the about persuasion is useless. That's the only one I remember. I think it's pretty hard to refute that the evidence that she prepared, so it has to be something she prepared, so it would absolutely have to be the crematorium report. And then the prerequisite for setting the trap. Oh, wait, what if I have the order backwards for that? No, but that's the piece of evidence. Prerequisite for setting the trap. Jackass. Jackass. No, it would have to be the lawsuit. Yeah, it would have to be. Who's in the right? Who has the evidence? I think I did this combination already. Yes, I did. 77 possibilities. "77 possibilities. Who is it? But there's no guarantee that what I'm putting there is correct. There's no guarantee. I have no guarantee. If I had guarantee, we would be done! Who is the target she intends to frame? It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. Anywhere the wind blows doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter to me. I have the right thing in there. Fucking Jesus. Notepad. Notepad. Chat. I'm so blasted. I'm so blasted. I do not have the desire to write in this notepad all these combinations. Generate a spreadsheet. I have no idea how to do that. How do I create a spreadsheet so I can just run down the list and check everything? How do I do that? Can I do that in Google Sheets? Google Sheets. Okay, I'm in Google Sheets. So how do I even organize this data? How do I even write this in? How do I do this? Like, how do I do this on a sheet? With 6 options. I have no idea. Chat, the desire to do this is non-existent. Genuinely non-existent. I don't want to do this. Do you think somebody put, hold on, maybe somebody put the answer in the Steam review? You ever think of that? Wait. I clicked the wrong button. Discussion. Help with that one climax reasoning comic book thingy. That's the first case. That's the first case. That's the first case. Video. No video. All. Huh. Somebody got through it. Case 2. Boy, am I browsing. Oh boy, am I browsing. No more content. No more browsing. Guide. Review. I'm dead. How many pieces of evidence are there? There's 6 options to fill in the comic book, but I'm pretty sure there's like 11 pieces of evidence. Let me see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 pieces of evidence. Twelve pieces of evidence. 6 panels to apply it to. I don't want to brute force it because that's extremely tedious and I have no patience for that. It has already been 2 hours. I do not want to play anymore. Especially not if that's what I'm doing. How many pieces of evidence are quotes? There's 3 quotes. There's all evil will be brought to justice. For those stubborn heretics, persuasion is useless. They must be taught a lesson. And those who offend my palace, the other spirits shall be punished no matter how far they are. The only thing I actually know that Satori did say is this one about persuasion is useless. They must be taught a lesson. I strongly believe that this is the correct answer on the last tile. Strongly. Because this is the only thing she actually said. But it's hard to tell that for certain because the translation for this game is gives me confidence issues. It gives me confidence issues. So yeah. There's 3 quotes. And if you take all of those and pull them out, that means there's The problem is you have no way of knowing. You have no way of knowing which one you got is correct. That's the problem. There's no way of knowing. If I put it in the box, she just says, no, something's wrong, and redo the whole fucking thing. Chinese comments and answer? Alright, lay it on me, because Lord knows I'm about to stop. I'm about to stop. This is the nightmare. Hold on. We might have the answer. Let's see. He's typing it out. There's only 1 minute left. Oh my god! Will he make it in time? Oh, man. Don't act like 75 is a small number. "30 seconds." 25 seconds. Yeah, there's no way to know for sure. There's no way to know for sure if your answer's correct. Even if you believe it's correct, there's a possibility that it's not correct. And then you fuck around with everything else, not realizing that. Oh, I found it. Time up! It's in a Billy video. Alright, hold on. First one is the court. Second one is... The one on the right is Aura, and the one on the evidence is Satori. Okay, hold on. Let's try this one first. Unless it's like the exact same one in the video. So the first is the court. Which I had an idea of that. Orin is the one on the right. Satori is the one with the evidence. Okay. The key evidence is the crematorium report, which made sense. The prerequisites of the case is the report for number 2. Wait, really? It's not her lawsuit? Hmm. How? 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 Please explain, Marisa. The world stop at time. No, please fucking explain it to me. Why is that the answer to that one? The prerequisite was the case that already happened? I found it, the breakthrough. Yeah, whatever, Marisa. What is it? Do you remember the words we heard from Kaimyoden about Komeiji Satori? She said for these stubborn heretics, persuasion is useless. They must be taught a lesson. I do remember this matter, but isn't stubborn heretics referring to the villagers of the human village? No, that's just a superficial interpretation. It actually refers to somebody else. Somebody else. Let's think about it. Who is described as a heretic? Someone with different beliefs? That's not comprehensive enough. It should refer to enemies with different beliefs. Enemies? Indeed, for the villagers of the human village, who are the object of faith contention and also targets for missionary work, they indeed should not be called heretics. That's right. So the heretic Komeiji Satori mentioned refers to... the Myoden Temple. It's Myoden Temple. If Myoden Temple is the enemy, why would Komeiji Satori forbid Kaimyoden from burning the zombies of the temple? Perhaps because zombies are not organized. Do you think you can convince yourself with that? So the heretic Komeiji mentioned is Reimu. It's Reimu. Speaking of which, the recent battle for faith seems to be quite fierce. Yes, you can smell it in Aya News. If this is the explanation, then be taught a lesson could just mean this lawsuit, right? By appealing, create a lawsuit that just balances to tarnish the fairness of the court. But that sentence was said about after the nuclear technology lecture in the human village. Why would the Hakude Shrine be referred to as a heretic at this occasion? Because the lecture was interfered with and sabotaged by the Hakude Shrine. Wait a minute, Kaimyoden, who went with Komeiji Satori, didn't mention encountering such a thing, did she? She didn't even feel any hostility from the Hakude Shrine. That's why the sentence was mistakenly taken as being aimed at the residents of the human village. That is because only Komeiji Satori could sense it. Because an event occurred at the scene that only Komeiji Satori could sense. An event that only Komeiji Satori could sense. Yes, don't forget Komeiji Satori's ability, that is the ability to read minds. The attendees of the lecture were originally villagers from the human village. Anyone would find no fault when examining them from the outside. Only Komeiji Satori, who can read minds, found a flaw from their hearts at the saboteur. What exactly is that flaw? Perhaps Kwakama reads minds of having been to Hakode Shrine from those villagers' hearts. Kwakama did that? So some of the villagers came to protest because they received a mission from the Hakode Shrine to disrupt the nuclear technology lecture. And Komeiji Satori, with her mind-reading abilities, detected the real mastermind behind it. That's right! First, at the nuclear technology lecture, Satori used her mind-reading on the villagers who came to cause trouble. Okay. Very good. She read their memories of having been to the Hakode Shrine not long ago, and even receiving the mission. So she said, for these stubborn heretics, persuasion is useless, they must be taught a lesson. And she developed a motive for revenge against the Hakode Shrine. What really prompted her to turn her motive into a plan and start implementing it was... her subordinate, Kain Godin, was found guilty of theft. Komeiji Satori used the time when Kain Godin lost her freedom to prepare sufficient evidence. Then, in the subsequent trial accusing Kain Godin, she created a balanced situation where Kain Godin was in the right in principle, while she was in the right in terms of evidence. Huh. At this point, the court holding the highest decision-making power fell into the trap of power, just like the referee in that match. No matter what the presiding judge decides in the end, the court will be labeled as unfair. Ah. Although most of it makes sense, there's still two doubts that have not been explained. One is the reason why Komeiji Satori ordered Kain Godin to find energy-saving books. According to your explanation, it should be after Kain Godin was found guilty that Komeiji Satori designed a specific plan for revenge. The second is the reason why Komeiji Satori exposed the dark history of the Palace of the Earth Spirits. If the purpose of the entire lawsuit is to reduce the trust in the court, which is also the faith in Hakode Shrine, why reduce everyone's trust in the Palace of the Earth Spirits, which is also the faith in Moria Shrine, from the beginning? Well, these questions are hard to figure out at first. But now that we've deduced the whole story, it's easy to solve. After all, this is Komeiji Satori's original intention. You see, where did Komeiji Satori first appear? The nuclear technology lecture? That's right, promoting nuclear energy is Komeiji Satori's original intention. But how is this related to... It's related, you know. Patchy, let me give you an example. If I have a brand new device that can repair paper books, what advantages would it have to make you choose to replace the library's collection? So many books, it would be hard to replace. Even if the new device is superior to paper books in every way, it can only be considered and try to record new books with it. Generally speaking, when deciding whether to use something new to replace something old that has been accustomed to, people tend to maintain their existing habits, unless suddenly the Scarlet Devil Mansion catches fire and all the books are destroyed. This is a crime. Is the Red Devil Mansion on fire again? But what if the fire was set by the master of the Scarlet Devil Mansion? Are you saying that Komeiji Satori wanted to use nuclear energy to replace the old energy of the crematorium and did this? Yes, although it seems to have lowered the reputation of the Palace of the Earth Spirits. If you break it down, it's just the crematorium department. I see now. You really are something, Marisa. Not only did you follow my line of reasoning to complete the deduction, but you also resolved two doubts that I hadn't figured out. But there's one last question. Where is the most crucial, decisive piece of evidence that can prove that reasoning is as fact? Of course, there isn't any such thing. There isn't? Right, to deduce it within 5 minutes is already quite an achievement. Where would we find the time to look for evidence? But without evidence, how do we convince the court? Tell them to fuck off. You don't have to worry about that. I have a second comic book! Ready? As long as I make my reasoning public, it won't be us who will have a sense of crisis, but the court. Even without evidence, even if there's only a slight possibility, would Yakumo Yukari dare to gamble with the court she established with her own hands? At this time, she will inevitably start to doubt. Wait a minute. You just said that the court was established by Yakumo Yukari. I can't believe that you didn't realize it. Been showing signs from the very first trial. Whether it's the details in the words or the control over the entire court or the motive for establishing the court, it all... Right, on this point, I have another piece of evidence. Ha ha ha. Right? What should be presented now is not this piece of evidence. Oh, okay. How about this one? Thank you for infinite tries. Would you like to see all of my evidence? How about this? You like all my evidence? You guys like my evidence? Check it out. I've been collecting it. This is it, Luigi! Why does this prove? Look at this news article that mentions collaboration with Hakurei Shrine. But the work that Hakurei Reimu herself is doing is almost the same as before, still resolving incidents and investigating scenes. So where is the collaboration? What is the significance of this collaboration? So you concluded that the person representing Hakurei Shrine for the collaboration is not Hakurei Reimu, but Yakumo Yukari. Yeah, okay. Not only that, Yakumo Yukari is the leader and Shikieki is the one on the side of the collaboration. So next, as long as you make the results of your reasoning public, we can win the lawsuit. That's right. Let's get married after we win the lawsuit. What? Get married? Wait, hold on! If you're gonna make the reasoning public, won't you have to disclose something unrelated to the case? That's irrelevant. I'm defending you, and that matter is obviously related to the case now, right? But it's just your hypothesis, isn't it? If you have to speak out these to be free, I'd rather be found guilty. This... You haven't forgotten our agreement so soon, have ya? I'll drink the bottle, Marisa! I'll drink it! Then you'll have no defendant! Of course not. Wait, Marisa, calm down. This is the client's request. We should respect it. But... The time is up, defense attorney. Have your discussions ended? Can you now provide a definite conclusion? It's possible, but... There are no excuses in court. State your reasoning and present your evidence. Or just admit defeat. What should we do? There must be another way. Patchy, do we have a third option to choose from? In addition to waiting for the sentence, there should be an out-of-court settlement. The plaintiff voluntarily withdraws the lawsuit. I see, then let's work towards this goal. I apologize, Prosecutor Yakumo Yukari. Although I have completed the reasoning, due to the client's request, I cannot disclose it. Even if that means you're about to lose the case. Ooh, so wrong, so wrong. No, I don't intend to give up either. I hope the plaintiff will withdraw the lawsuit and we can settle out of court. The road we never thought of. I sincerely hope that the defense attorney thinks before speaking. If I intended to settle with the defendant out of court, why would I have brought my subordinate to court? I'm sorry, it seems the plaintiff is not interested in an out-of-court settlement. Patchouli, is it possible to settle out of court without the plaintiff's agreement? Generally, it's impossible, but we might be able to persuade the plaintiff to change their mind by promising a compensation amount. Yes, if my reasoning is wrong and what Komeiji Satori wants is the compensation as stated in the petition, this should work. According to the petition provided by Komeiji Satori, the plaintiff's demand is to obtain compensation, right? So if we promise to provide the corresponding compensation, can we settle out of court? I do not accept. Since the demand can be met, why not accept? Because I myself am not quite sure if the compensation amount is the demand is appropriate. I also hope the court can give me a fair judgment. I think that determining the compensation amount through out-of-court settlement negotiations, as long as both parties agree, is appropriate. Aren't you afraid of being accused of exploiting employees? If I can get a judgment signed by the wise and mighty presiding judge and prosecutor of the People's Court, an absolutely correct judgment, then no one will say anything. I see. Very reasonable, very reasonable. She's as expected. Clearly lying, but can't be exposed. Patchouli, this method won't work. If bribery doesn't work, then reverse the thinking. Reverse? After all, the benefits of collapsing the court are too great, and we can't offer a more tempting price to let Komeiji Satori give up. If temptation doesn't work, then use threats against her. Wait, publicly threatening the other party in court will be directly taken down. So reverse the thinking. Go back again? I mean reverse the public part. True, the enemy's advantage turn the enemy's advantage into my own. Mind reading. When Komeiji Satori reads my mind, silently reading the content of the threat can be done. Yes, but there is still an unsolvable problem. How can you make Satori Komeiji use mind reading on you? Mind reading, use it on me for my use. Excuse me, have the defense finished discussing? The plaintiff has clearly refused the proposal for an out-of-court settlement. If there is nothing more to say, then it's time to move on to the judgment phase. For my use, reverse thinking. I can't use... Marisa, it's because Komeiji Satori just used her mind-reading ability. Against such an opponent, bluffing is ineffective. Alright. Defendant Kai Myorin. Chotto matte! I have already begun to deliver the verdict. Do you have anything else to say? What if I have evidence that can still turn the situation around? You have evidence. You have evidence. We still have evidence? That's right. Do we still have evidence? Even the achievement is asking. If you have any evidence, why didn't you present it earlier? Because that piece of evidence only manifests at this moment. Evidence that only appears now. I wonder if you've heard of such a legend. If a person is wrongfully imprisoned and the grievance is great enough, it will snow heavily regardless of the season. And thus, this piece of evidence from the heavens is supposed to appear just as the presiding judge is about to announce the verdict. Have you gone mad? I am perfectly rational. I now request that we open the courtroom doors and count together for 30 seconds to see if it will really snow in April, which is when it's just already spring. Just 30 seconds. That's worth a try. Komachi, open the doors. Bro? Why? We got ghosts and the fucking elite beat agents up in the... Wait. Oh, okay. Alright. Patchy wears heels. Wow. Look at that. She's wearing heels. No slippies. As the doors slowly opened, everyone's hearts were in their throats. 1, 2, 3. People were counting in unison, staring intently at the sky outside. Some in anticipation, some in prayer, some in confusion. Only Komeiji Satori was staring intently at the lawyer Marisa, who was making extravagant claims. 7, 8, 9. She really couldn't understand how this distant and strange legend could be reproduced here. She was eager to understand what trick this mysterious lawyer was planning. 13, 14, 15. However, when she lifted the fog and read Marisa's heart, thinking she could finally expose the trick, she found that she had already fallen into Marisa's trap. I have already understood how you will frame the court. If you insist on not withdrawing the lawsuit, I will tell Myoden Temple about your dark deeds. So even if you can overthrow the court, it will only be a case of the snipe and the clams fighting with Myoden Temple benefiting. There are only 10 seconds left in this courtroom. Think about it well. 21, 22, 23. Suddenly there was a cheer from the crowd. Look, snowflakes! It's really snowing! Holy shit. Seriously? It's amazing. How'd you do it? I don't know either. I see. Since it is the will of heaven, I choose to withdraw the lawsuit. Withdraw? Withdraw the lawsuit? Since the plaintiff chooses to withdraw the lawsuit, there is no need for a verdict. Dismissed. Anticlimactic, but I've never actually seen a Phoenix Wright case take this route before. That's great! We won! Summoning snow within 30 seconds. How did you do that? That's just amazing. I just wanted to bluff, but I didn't expect it to actually... It really was divine assistance. Stop celebrating and come on. Huh, Reimu? Why were you suddenly pulling me to? It's an incident. An incident. Incident? Yes, the one that happened before. The spring snow incident. Come with me quickly. The ink-stained cherry blossoms, the Tower of White Jade must be blooming again. Everything you just said, Reimu, made me die. And so, after barely resolving the lawsuit crisis from the Palace of the Earth Spirits, Marisa was pulled by Reimu, rushing off to the Netherworld. And suddenly, I met Yomu. What? So abrupt. Chapter 3, the cold river sets snowy colors and how many cherry blossoms bloom. Bro, I just got fucking entered into the third case just like that. Okay. Alright. Okay. How did it happen? I don't know. But it's been 2.5 hours and I'm already thinking that the comic book section for the next case is gonna make me want to die. Okay. Now, I wonder if there was an alternative answer to the comic book. But I don't care. Either way, I made a save just in case. Lie. So now... Cherry Blossom and Yuyuko. Whoa! Who's that handsome man? What the fuck? Alright, teaser. Teaser, teaser, teaser. Okay. Alright, chat. We did it. And now I have a headache, so I need to go pop an aspirin. Quick! I'm still enjoying the game, but those comic sections are very, very unfriendly. They're very unfriendly. I wonder if it's clear in a native language, but... Like, it would be nice for the not smart people, aka me, if it told me what I was doing wrong. That's all. That's all I ask. Anyway, chat, I'll be right back. When I return, time to return to the world of Hat. The doomed world of Hat. We'll save the day.